Beautiful. Ready for this, guys? Ow! All right, you gorgeous people. So to celebrate 25 years since The Naked Chef, I'm going back into the archives to 15-minute meals. There's some beautiful things in here. I really like the style of photography, over the top. A really nice global collection of recipes. This one we're gonna do is sizzling beefsteak with hoisin prawn and noodle bowls. Fancy that? 4 portions in 15 minutes. So my team have asked me to recreate that just to double check that it can be done in 15 minutes, which it can be, by the way. We're very strict. But look, super excited about this. It brings back lovely, lovely memories. This was a super popular book. Obviously, people want delicious fast food. And then, oh, that was 12, 13 years ago, I only had 3 kids. I had so much more energy and so much more time and so much more patience. But let's do it. Let's do it. Let's bring up the clock. Let's bring up the clock now. So as per usual, and I did this in the title sequence of the show, like, you know, get your stuff out. Let's get ready and raring to go. I'm not gonna use a wok. I'm gonna use a large frying pan. So let's whack that onto a high heat. And I've got some boiling water straight out the kettle. I think in the show I just put the kettle on so it was a bit more authentic, but I've cheated with boiling water. I'm sorry. Okay, so let's go. First job. Look, we want to create a lovely dish that's exciting, colourful, dynamic, soft, crunchy, sweet, sour, texture. So part of the journey is actually the end, the garnish, and not garnish for sort of looking at, a garnish that enriches the dish. So some peanuts, to be honest, it could be any nuts that you really fancy. So these are peanuts. You could use almonds, pistachios, play with it. It doesn't really matter. Let's toast these up. Just to help the toasting happening, you know, just a little bit of oil, just to kind of get those fats going. So we want that to just toast up, get a little bit golden. Let's just talk through what we've got so you know what we're doing. And you can tell this is, you know, fairly chilled, right? So pestle and mortar, the cheapest gadget. Well, it's not the cheapest, it's 2 bits of rock, right? It's the oldest gadget. So it will never break, you don't have to plug it in. So we can use that for marinades, dressings, smashing up nuts, right? Sprinkles. This represents cooking. When that's happening, good things are happening, right? So I think the energy of 15-minute meals was kind of like, use your senses, you know, use your smell, like get home from work, you're a bit tired, your taste buds want something electric and exciting, little handful of sesame seeds. I'm a massive lover of nuts and seeds at home. Really good, heart-healthy fats. You know, there's some amazing research that says how people can live a couple of years longer, you know, and it's better for heart disease and all that by having a little handful of nuts every day. Gold, right? Garnish, happy days. Veg, mushrooms galore. Any mushrooms, I've got oysters. Noodles, 1 per portion. We're doing 4, happy days. The classic sort of base flavors, ginger, garlic, lime, that will come later, some spring onions, some coriander. Predictable, but really efficient. We've got some bean sprouts, which I love. We'll cook those. I've got some frozen prawns that are defrosted. By the way, if you want to do frozen prawns quickly, put them in a bowl, run a little cold water on it, they'll defrost. Super quick, in a colander, happy days. Oh, and by the way, some steaks, little minute steaks. So actually, 2 fairly sort of like skinny steaks, minute steaks, between 4 people. So this is really about making beautiful things go a long way. Stretching food, dynamic food. In the pan, I know it looks like not much is happening, but you know, I've introduced the dish. You can see we've got a little bit of color there, right? So that's good, I'm good with that, I'm down with that. So into the pestle we go. Let's use a little cloth to get all of my bits of sesame seed in there as well. So I will pound those up when they've cooled down a little bit. Some will stay in shape, some will kind of go to a little powder. So now we're back to the pan. So I'm going to go to Japan now. I used to work in Japan, loved it. Cuisine, culture, extraordinary. And one of the little revelations I had in Japan was they would take mushrooms and they would dry grill or dry fry these. And that really stuck with me because what I realized from the clever Japanese is that often in the Mediterranean, and certainly in British culture, mushrooms, oil, butter, lard. It's getting fatty. These are absorbent. But like the Japanese weren't doing that. Well, I'm sure they do, but in some recipes. But they were dry grilling, or dry frying, as I call it, mushrooms. Really interesting. So what's good about that? Okay, caramelization is going to happen without fat. Interesting. This exaggeration, this amplification of nuttiness happens. That doesn't happen with butter. You get sweetness and depth and umami. But nuttiness is kind of a cool thing, right? So I'm going with that, right? So in we go with the mushrooms, like that. Just press them down. They'll steam internally, and they'll just caramelize on the outside. Really nice. So as that does its little thing there, I'm going to season up these steaks. Very, very simple seasoning. Fairly nice seasoning with salt, pepper, and then a key little ingredient, if you haven't got it, go get it, you should all have it, is Chinese or Thai 5-spice or 7-spice. It's a really beautiful blend of different sort of aromatic spices. You can get it in all of the supermarkets, all of them, and it just basically means that you can just bring lamb chops, pork chops, chicken breasts, even like a piece of cod to life. You can put it in broths and stews. You can do beautiful things, right? So just give that a nice, generous rub with that spice. And what I find it does is when you pan sear it in a hot pan, like you get this bark, like a tree bark, this dark, mysterious, like spice on the outside. And of course on the inside, you've just got the purity of deliciously, I mean, I'm gonna go kind of medium rare unless I overcook it by mistake, which I might do because, you know, I'm yapping and you're filming. Come and have a little look at this. Let's see if we've got any caramelization happening that's interesting. Look, okay, so look, you can see. Caramelization beginning to happen with no fat at all. So dry frying, so incredibly healthy. So again, what I love about this technique, whether it's on a barbecue, over wood, over charcoal, even in a dry pan, is we get nutty flavors. So that's the same with asparagus. It's the same with things like spring onions, little slices of fennel, mushrooms. So there's no fat changing or kind of breaking down. It's just pure like veg and steam. Then when it comes off, dress it. Good olive oils, good citrus, good vinegars, good herbs, as a philosophy, as a thought, right? So this is a cool little principle, and we haven't even started cooking yet. So what next? Okay, let's get chopping. Spring onions. Good or bad, it doesn't really matter. We're gonna just slice up spring onions, 2 or 4, it doesn't really matter, right? So just do whatever. Chili, I love chili, I really do. And I've trained my kids to love chili, so that's nice. Just break all of that up, put that into a little pile. I think it's nice, so this is a 15-minute meal. I guess the emotion is, oh, you know, I've got home, it's 6 o'clock, 6:30, 7 o'clock, I'm tired, maybe I'm stressed. Did I have a good day? Did I have a bad day? Who knows? You know, the kids, I might come and help Jules, put the kids to bed, bath them, that kind of vibe. But the idea, like in a world where everyone is ordering like Deliveroo, Just Eat, like it's never cheap, is it? Even cheap junk food, like when you buy it for 4 people, it's never cheap. Do you know what I mean? Like, so the fact that actually, probably if you're going to buy something comparative for 4 people, probably it's going to cost twice as much as you buying it, right? The fact that you can make your food and you're putting love into it is kind of cool. I've got ginger here. Ginger, nice thumb-sized piece. I'm just going to use the knife just to scrape it like that. You can slice it and you can chop it. It doesn't really matter. I love ginger. It's hot. It's fragrant, it's therapeutic, it's so good for you. This one's got a little minging black bit, so I'll cut that out, but that's life, isn't it? Sometimes you have a little minging bit. So that goes there. So I'm guessing we're about halfway through. Let's have a look in the pan. Can you see how these mushrooms, just come and see how they've shrunk. So just think about it. What's the context of shrinking? Something getting smaller, concentration. Amping up flavor, right? So let's now take that, right? Let's put it back in the bowl that it once came from. Pan's gone on, it's still clean, right? I haven't even got to do any washing up, right? So Normally, if I wasn't yapping to you, I might have a little glass of wine. Normally, if I wasn't yapping to you, I might have some tunes on. Normally, if I wasn't yapping to you, probably River would have set light to something or exploded something or something's come smashing through the window, so I might have to reprimand him. Naughty step, again. So, you know, life. That's why you need delicious food in your life. So chop up the ginger any old how. I don't care how you chop it up, like brunoise it, slice it, matchstick it, finely chop it, don't care. I just don't care. If you think I don't care, you do whatever you like. So look, flavour base there. I'm going to use olive oil. Use whatever oil you want. I have olive oil, that's what I do. So I'm going to take our lovely steak and I'm going to just drag it through the fat. Yeah, it's not going to take long to cook. So we've got that going. I've got some garlic here. So 2 or 4 garlic cloves. I'm slicing it. What I did on 15-minute meals, it became a little bit of a thing. I actually used a Jamie Oliver garlic crusher. Oh, wow, wow. And I was like, just get a garlic. Where's the garlic clove? I'm sure I saw it there. There it is. Get a garlic clove. And I just put it in like this. And then basically I showed them that you didn't have to peel it. You could just basically push it out like that, which it did, right? So, and everyone's like, it doesn't work. I said, get a Jamie Oliver one. Subtle push. Yeah, fair enough. Look, about 1.5 minutes each side. Can you see how dark that is? Angle that fat. It's hot, it's aggressive. Those spices, that seasoning, you know, it's doing good things. It's not in the recipe, but I've got lime. Whenever I see lime, I get excited. Give it a roll. That encourages the oils in the skin. You can see it's already making it shiny. Take some of that. I've got a fine grater. Just put some of that zest. It's just flavour for free. You know, it'll just wake up your taste buds. I'll take a little bit of coriander, stalks. I'll just finely, roughly chop up the stalks. Keep that for garnish. So look, we're sort of heading towards 4 minutes. I've got my lime. Noodles haven't gone in yet. I think I'm going to take the steak off. I want them a little bit under. So as these steaks rest, I'm going to put them onto the mushrooms here. So if they're going to rest anyway, I don't want to waste that resting juice. Right? So they'll rest there. Here, in this fat, we'll go in with the garlic. We'll go in with the ginger. Go in with the chilli. Like, I don't care what order you do it in. I don't care. Right? I've got some spring onions. Just give it a little toss. Of course, if I had a wok, I'd use one. But I've got a nice big pan. I'll go in with the spring onions. And I'll go in with the noodles. So in we go there. Pan, and I'll put a bit of salt in there as well, which is nice. As I toss this up, just go in with the coriander stalks. And I've even got time to have a little clean down. So, lovely board. Take this over here. Actually, salad, any old salad. In the recipe, I think it was romaine lettuce, but anything you can get, and some radishes. I'll take some radishes, like that. And some cheap old egg and cress. So, I'll just take my knife and finely slice the radishes. You can use vinegar, or you can use lime if you want, just to kind of give them a bit of a pickle vibe. So just a little squeeze like that is nice. Bit of salt. So you got that there. You can pound up the lovely nuts and sesame seeds, which is lovely. We'll toss this pan and we'll go straight in with prawns and the bean sprouts. So we'll give that a nice little toss around. I love this, the old-fashioned egg and cress. egg sandwich, right? So that's part of our garnish world. Love that. So toss this up. That's looking good. Now I'm going to use soy sauce to taste. We're going to go like a couple of tablespoons, maybe 3, of hoisin. Goes in. Mix that up. The noodles are nearly there. While that's doing its magic, I'm going to lay out my bowls like that. I'm going to take the steak and just slice it through like that, nice and fine. Look how nicely that's cooked. Beautiful. Let's take some of this lettuce. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's get some more of that. Looks lovely. Anything crunchy that you can get your hands on that we're going. And for my team, just shout out when we've got to 15 minutes because I want to keep it real. We're pretty much getting there now. Mushrooms go in. We're going to go in now. The time is now. 15 minutes is up, my lovely people. So you can disqualify me for being a minute over. I mean, I have been talking to you lot after all. But look, in with the noodles. All I do now is just adjust the seasoning here, right? Toss this up. Lime juice, salt, pepper, soy. Soy to taste. You didn't see that. But this is life. Go in with those hot, beautiful noodles. Look at those lovely mushrooms. Gorgeous. And look, we're going to feed 4 people here. So drag those noodles in like that. Nice. I love it. Hot, steamy noodles is my thing. Spice. Hoisin's just a great little cheat. Such a wonderful little flavour combination. So let's just go. I'm rinsing it now. I'm probably 16 minutes. So you can get me for like, you know, promising the 15, but I'm pretty happy with that. To make TV and yap to you lot is all good. We're going to take that steak. Look at that, prawns, mushrooms, steaks. It just looks great. And divide that up across the portions there. I was a bit generous there. But look, if you've got kids and family that like bigger or smaller things, it's all good. We'll have our little wedge of lime to squeeze over the top. Joy, joy, joy. I really love using the cresses. So that retro cress, just a little pinch here and there is beautiful. The coriander tops, mint, basil, coriander, freshness, joy, optimism, healthiness. Like for me, that embodied this book. I know, right, I'm a minute and a half over. I apologize. But, you know, I promise you I can do them in 15 minutes when I'm not working. But that's it, guys. Delicious home-cooked food. Food that's alive. Food that's got flavor. That's what it's all about. I love it. This is the kind of food that makes me really, really happy. Look, we got the little semi-pickled radishes. Look at the color, guys, color. So cooking doesn't have to be boring. This, without question, will be cheaper than getting a takeaway, right? Takeaways are super convenient, but you know deep down once you've finished it, you feel guilty and it's cost a fortune. And yeah, I love a takeaway, but like, if you can do it better yourself, it was fun to do. It's fun to do. And look, we've got this to wash up. It's not the end of the world. Lovely people. Seared beef with noodles and all those lovely things. Hopefully, I hope you got a bit of love and soul and a little bit of excitement from that. And I hope you can do that in your home and give this to someone that you love. So let me just take this washing up over and then time to eat. So that's the 15-minute meal vibe, right? Let's have a little try up. A beautiful piece of beef. That Chinese 5 spice is brilliant. It's really interesting, really joyful. Come, let's get in there. Mmm! So there you go, celebrations of 25 years since the Naked Chef. There he is, a little bit younger, a little bit more energy. 15-minute meals. Enjoy, lots of love, guys.